What do you get when you cross a wild cat with an ancient Egyptian cat breed? That's right, you get a hybrid with an interesting name, a Chausie. This feline has a fierce and majestic look that makes it a very unique cat. Let's learn more about this wild breed of felines. So, what is the history behind this amazing athletic cat with high predatory behaviour, and is this pet even safe to bring home to the family? The name Chausie was actually coined by a group of breeders in the 1990s. It was formed from the scientific name used for jungle cats, Felis chaus. Chausies also go by other names such as stone cougar, mountain cougar, and our personal favourite, jungle curl. Chausies may have been born in ancient Egypt thousands of years ago by the mating of a wild jungle cat with a domestic cat. By the fourth generation, the offsprings were completely domestic in their temperament. In ancient Egypt, Chausies were quite popular and moved around a lot. They lived in abandoned buildings and went to feed near canals, where they caught smaller prey. Fast forward to the 1960s, this feline caught the eyes of breeders who tried to experiment with breeding alternatives to create non-domestic cats as pets. As the breed grew in popularity, a special breeding program was organised for them in the 1990s, and in 1995 they were fully registered with the International Cat Association. They became a championship breed on the 1st of May 2013. There are Chausie breeders located in many parts of the world, including North America and Europe. Apparently, the first to the third generation of Chausies may have carried a bit too many wild jungle genes, because the most authentic and accepted breeds are from the fourth generation onwards. This was largely because the fourth generation Chausies had a fully domestic temperament compared to their predecessors. What do Chausies look like? They are considered to be medium to large cats. They may not be as large as a male Maine Coon, but they are certainly bigger than the Siamese breed. A male adult Chausie may weigh 11 to 16 pounds, while the females would weigh about 8 to 13 pounds. They measure an average length of about 20 to 22 inches. Chausies are natural sprinters and have long, slender bodies and powerful legs that allow them to run very fast and leap as high as 6 feet in the air. They have broad and long ears with angular cheekbones. Their eyes can be either of 3 major colours: yellow, gold and green, and they form a half-slanted oval from below. Chausies do not have very long coats. They are mostly short to medium in length. So if a breeder offers you a long-haired Chausie claiming that it's a new breed, it's probably false. What coat colours and patterns are standard? The Chausie breed is relatively new, and there are quite a variety of other patterns and colours discovered every time, but not all of them can pass for a standard breed. As a matter of fact, the International Cat Association allows only 3 specific colours: solid black, black grizzled tabby, and black tick tabby. How long do Chausies live? This may vary from one cat to the other due to lifestyle, diet, health conditions, genetics and other factors. But on average, a Chausie will have a lifespan of 10 to 15 years. Let's talk about the Chausie Cat's personality. What kind of behaviour should you look forward to? Because breeders cross their first cats with very intelligent and social cats like the Oriental Shorthair and the Abyssinian, the Chausie inherited the intellect and high activity of these other cats. Chausie cats are often referred to as busy because they are always actively exploring. They become quieter and more poised as they mature, but they retain their curiosity and energetic playfulness. If you have always wanted a Chausie but have a busy lifestyle, think again. Chausies absolutely dislike being left alone. Make no mistake, they will find a way to keep themselves entertained, whether it's flipping over expensive teacups or scratching furniture. It is best to provide them with companions, like another cat or dog. They get along with dogs just fine if they were raised together, especially at an early age. Some people often ask, how do Chausies fare with humans, and are they safe pets considering that they look very similar to a wild cat? Chausies are even-tempered. They typically form deep bonds with members of the family and are very loyal pets. Chausies are not as dangerous as some may think. They behave just like any regular domestic cat. They may share the same DNA with wild cats, but Chausies that are sold by breeders are those that are genetically distant from their ancestors, and this automatically eliminates all wild behaviours. That being said, it is still pretty important to monitor their interaction with really young kids. This goes for all cats in general. Chausie cats are affectionate, loving, and very friendly with strangers. They aren't that vocal, but they would occasionally give a chirp or a meow to remind you of their presence, or perhaps to complain about the empty feeding bowl. Playtime is always a lot of fun with Chausies, as they quickly get into hunting mode whenever you throw a ball or a foam mouse at them. They are fun to watch and can spend a lot of time chasing mobile toys. Since their need for exercise is pretty high, it is necessary to engage your cat in physical activities. This will allow them to shed extra weight and keep fit at all times. How do you care for your Chausie? Understanding how to care for your cat can improve their looks and also their lifespan. Ensuring that they get regular exercise is important. Aside from that, proper grooming ensures that your cat always looks good. Chausies have a short coat and are therefore low maintenance. They don't shed much, so brushing them once or twice a week is sufficient. Stick to a strict cat grooming regime, which includes teeth cleaning, nail clipping, and perhaps bathing them once in a couple of months if absolutely necessary. What should their diet look like? Chausies inherited shorter intestinal tracts from their non-domestic ancestors. The problem is that shorter intestinal tracts do not digest food made from plants very well. This means that if your cat were to eat herbs, spices or vegetables, they may have chronic intestinal inflammations which are painful and quite uncomfortable for your pet. It would eventually lead to inflammatory bowel disease, which is followed by allergies and diarrhea. The best kind of food for Chausies is one that is made purely from 100% animal protein. Ensure that every commercial cat food has as few plant ingredients as possible. Some people make a homemade keto diet for their cats to ensure that every meal is high in protein. What are the common health problems associated with this breed? Chausies are generally a very strong and healthy breed with little to no significant health problems. However, the intestinal issues of this cat does pose a problem as it greatly affects digestion. As mentioned earlier, the genetically inherited short intestinal tract, which causes the inability to tolerate plant-based nutrients, is the major health issue in Chausies. So make sure that your cat gets only a full protein diet and they will be just fine. Also, casual trips to the vet for checkups will ensure the early detection of any possible health issue. What is the cost to own a Chausie? Chausies are very rare and only a handful of breeders are permitted to breed them because of the delicate nature of the cat breed itself. This is why they are so expensive. The cost for a cat may vary from one breeder to the other depending on location, lineage, age, gender, upbringing and other factors. They may cost anywhere between $1,500 to $10,000. Here are the pros and cons of getting a Chausie. Let's start off with the pros. Chausies are easy to groom and care for. They shed averagely, so brushing once or twice a week is just fine. They are very friendly, affectionate and great with kids. They are also very intelligent and a whole lot of fun. Now, let's look at the downsides. Chausies are very rare. The chances of you getting one is quite slim. You may be put on a waiting list for a period of time, depending on your location. Secondly, they need a lot of attention. If you have a steady job and have no one to stay back home, then getting a Chausie may not be such a great idea. Although there is a solution to this. You can always get another pet to keep your cat company. You can even get 2 Chausies if you can afford them. Is it possible to adopt a Chausie? Since buying one may be too expensive, the next option may be adopting one. But what are the chances? It is quite unlikely that Chausies can be found in shelters. This is because they are such rare breeds and also in very high demand.